Hey folks, welcome back to the shop. Today we're looking at a little more budget-friendly option. Instead of going straight to the top with the Knipex, I found these Neiko, N-E-I-K-O, Nieko? Anyway, however you say it, Neiko. We got a wire service tool, 4-in-1 and a 6-in-1. So essentially that's a stripper tool and a crimper tool. And each has a crimper and a stripper built in. One of them is probably more useful than the other on each model, so let's take a look. That's the packaging. It is made in Taiwan, both of them, and the price runs accordingly. I got these off Amazon. They're probably in the under $20 each one. I think closer to 15 and 16. I think this one was 16 and this one's 15. I'm not sure, but first impressions, they're they're not Knipex quality. They're a little sticky. They're not kind of broke in feel. This one's really tight, although it does have a little I don't know if it's a Torx head screw in there that you could probably loosen that up just a touch if you wanted to. And overall, I'd say this one's probably about 7.5 inches. This looks like about 6 inches. And let's head to head them right there with the Knipex and the Knipex stripper, which is or crimper, not the same. This is a ferrule crimper, so not exactly the same model as that, but it works for the little spade end terminators and all that stuff too. So not as good as it probably wanted to, but that's what we got. Let's move it in a little closer and look at the specs. Okay, so 7 and 8.5. My bad, I missed them both. The 7-inch crimper and then the 8.5-inch stripper combo tool. Wire stripper on the 4-in-1. Strips 12 to 20 AWG wires. Cuts through copper, aluminum, and soft steel wires. And crimp fasteners 10 through 22 AWG, insulated and non-insulated. You got a little pictogram showing you. You got a little wire cutter on this one, wire strippers, these are kind of secondary thoughts. This is your main issue up here, the crimper. Because to be honest, these usually never work as great as they made them out to be. And this little wire cutter, you can just see it on there right now. That's not much. That's not a lot of cutting area. So, but then again, you're not paying premium prices for these. These are kind of lower end budget. If you're a homeowner, this probably be good for you. If you're just starting out in the trades, if you're just getting your electrician's journeyman going and you didn't go out and already spend a fortune on tools and you want to get something low end, you might go with something like this. This will get you going until you get a couple of good paychecks under your belt and hopefully keep you off the Snap-on truck for a couple of days anyway, so you're not in lifelong debt. The 6-in-1, 8.5 inches long bolt and screw extractor, which is just a little, they're saying this is right here, that's just a little divot in the grip area. But I guess you could probably unscrew something with that, maybe. Wire stripper, 10 to 22 AWG stranded, 8 to 22 AWG solid. It's got a wire cutter that's a little more substantial than the other one. A bolt cutter for your, electrical bolts going up in your boxes and stuff. And crimp fasteners, which, look at there, it's built up in the handle. I can tell you right now, that's probably barely accessible up there, but let's check them out. And the Knipex, if you watch any of our channel here. High quality, well-built stuff. But you're paying a lot more for the same tool. I mean, I got these because I do this kind of stuff every day. I'm industrial maintenance technician, and I run across electrical issues I got to deal with. I got to crimp stuff. If I didn't do that, I would be perfectly happy buying something like this at probably a third the price of those two right there. I don't have to, but I like it because they last, and you're not running through tools every 2 months because you've lost the grips on them, or they loosened up and fallen apart. But look at this. This is what I'm talking about, the difference. The Knipex, whoop, out of the box they come like that. This one's got a little spring action in there, but you can tell these are a little stiff, but that's all right. That's not what we're worried with. We're just looking at some budget options. All right. Let's test it out. Let's get to the test. I've already crimped up a couple just for old time's sake. It does have a cutter. The cutter works all right. The stripper, yeah, it'll strip. It's a little sticky, and they're a little hard to navigate in there. There we go. Right. And this one is where we're going to test out the crimpability. So we got insulated, and we're going to go in the back slot back there. Crimp it. I like to go too. I probably got a little tall on that one, but just for demonstration purposes, it's in there, and that's some stranded wire. Obviously, you can't hardly crimp. Mostly not at all. You can't crimp solid wire because it doesn't squish down in there right, and then your terminations come off and people laugh at you. It's got a little plier beak on the front end there. I don't know if you can see that. So there's the crimper. The stripper here, of course, you got the big, well, I'll show you in a second. I got some solid over there. We'll test out. These strippers are a little better. Of course, that's what these are kind of made for. It gives you the good lineup on the stripper area, kind of like your Knipex, where you get a lot of room up there. These are kind of hard to navigate in there with the little stripper in the back. But the crimper is much better. Look at this. Let's throw another crimp on and see. You've got these big overmolded handles, which are nice. They're comfortable, cushiony, but you hardly get any room to work in here. And then when you do, you can't really get a good feel for it right there. And I keep knocking the damn crimp off. So yeah, it's very what's the word I'm looking for? Unnatural, kind of, to squeeze back under there like that. I mean, if you had a bigger set with some more room in there, it'll crimp, but it's not the easiest thing in the world. And look, you got these cutters are a lot better than that little bitty old micro cutter there, but like I'm saying, look at the difference on your cutters here too. The Knipex, yeah, you got to open them up a little bit, but you can get in there with a little MC. You can get up in there and cut right through it. With these, you can't even get it down in there. So I wouldn't try that with those anyway. But I mean, overall, the cutter's good if you don't mind doing a double cut every now and then. Whereas your Knipex, yep, single cut right there. Can we get the sheath stripped off of this one just so we can get down to some of them other ones? Yeah. I mean, it's not totally unusable. And then you get in there and get your strip going, and of course I've almost pulled the whole wire out, so let's just do that and get that out of the way. So we'll try a crimp with the old Knipex, that crimper. You get it down in there, and then you get a little sticky issue because, like I say, this is a ferrule crimper, which crimps on the end of the wire with a post that you can push directly into something and screw it down on like an electrical panel or a thing, but it works with that. So yeah, a budget-friendly option, just something to think about. I know I do a lot of the premium stuff, and I'm sure there are people that don't want to buy all that, put that big money on everything. And that's just an option I saw the other day, so I said, well, we'll try them out and see. So yeah, overall, if I had these around the house, I would be probably well pleased with those. Neiko 6-in-1 wire service tool and 4-in-1 wire service tool. Probably both around $30 total. Well, 32 I think was the total with shipping, or not shipping, with Amazon, with the tax and all that. So yeah, something to look at. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you have a great day. Come back and see us again.